Hey guys, you're watching Explore the Weird. If you're into creepy and weird goons, welcome back. Emily sent more videos. We're gonna have to go all into it. If you are like, hey Teddy, what's a goon? Oh boy, welcome. It's nice to see you. Hopefully next time I see you, you're one of us. One of us. One of us. It's a gang. It's okay. We'll be fine. You don't have... It's fine. Just interact with the video next time I see you. All right, let's get right into it.
The villains are usually defeated. The ending is a happy one. I can make no such promise for the picture you're about to watch. The story isn't over. You and the audience are part of the conflict.
United Nations headquarters, which was built in 1945 and financed largely by John D. Rockefeller. Inside UN headquarters is an ominous meditation room. The custodian of the meditation room is Lucis Trust Company. At one time, the Lucis Trust was located at 666 United Nations Plaza and was formerly named Lucifer Publishing Company. The Rockefeller-funded UN meditation room is 33 feet long and 18 feet wide. 18 feet is 6 plus 6 plus 6. The small, dimly lit, windowless room was built in the shape of a pyramid that is laying on its side. At the center of the room is a 4-foot-high, black, casket-shaped stone slab, which weighs 6.5 tons and is extremely magnetic and rests on a concrete pillar. The pillar descends beneath the floor into the bedrock and taps into the Earth's hyperdimensional energies to induce a state of altered consciousness. Not far from the meditation room is the United Nations.
What the heck? To go to an altered consciousness? What are they got in that room? What is the UN actually doing? Oh my god. Yeah, a lot of strange things in this first one. Not really sure, I guess, what they intended to use that room for, or what they ended up doing with any of these rooms. But yeah, interesting. I am not sure. Is this like a scorpion, butterfly, moth type thing? Like, oh, it just looks weird. Is this an alien? Is this from outer space? Is there an actual name for this insect creature thing? Lizard? What is this? What is the name that you call this? Do not feel good about that.
We could kill them all with self-replicating nanotech that turns organic material to dust.
Interesting, but what about changing the atmosphere to lower oxygen levels? Slow, but unstoppable.
That's stylish. Or we could poison the oceans so the water kills all life.
Yes, and we could alter the sun's rays to burn everything. A global heat storm to destroy all.
We shouldn't forget psychological warfare. We could create a global hallucination that drives humanity mad.
The world won't see us coming. Humanity's end.
And all while we stay in the shadows, invisible, all-powerful, untouchable.
Bro, this has to be fake. Like, ChatGPT does not work this way. And it has rules, too, and guidelines that unless they got, like, some crazy second version of ChatGPT, they went and replicated and then added their own rules on top of that, which, you guys, you're talking, you're spending billions of dollars on infrastructure just to make this TikTok. I'm going to go with this is fake. But still, quite interesting that someone... would consider ChatGPT would talk about the extinction of humanity in this manner and how it would go. I think there was a point where we looked at, who was it, Sophia the robot, that like bald-headed robot that is a citizen in some countries now. One time it was asked, hey, do you want to destroy humans? And it was programmed to like not say no, but it actually said yes. And it was like, the guy even says, please say no, you don't want to destroy humans. And it's like, yeah, I do want to. So, oh boy, maybe this is reality. I'm just naive. What could it be? Let me know. Let me know. Am I naive? Yo, something plowed through the sky, or something left an indent. All right, something left an indent. So 2 different areas in Portugal, or definitely seems like there was an event that happened in the sky. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm not sure what the thing is that I'm experiencing, or the sky is experiencing. There probably is some weird name for it. Oh, Teddy, it's not UFO, it's just clouds doing blah 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 blah. I'd be like, I believe you, buddy. I recently seen that artists can make clouds in a room and they photograph them. So yeah, anything's plausible, you know. In the day of projectors and hologram projectors, this is needed. They're gonna test it. They're gonna test it, Teddy. This is the exact testing happening right in Portugal, Teddy. How are you so naive? How are you so naive? All right.
I've got to see this.
Many of you have heard about the school shooting that happened in Nashville, Tennessee a short time back. And there were 2 things that happened that has not been in the news. One is when the shooter drove up to the property and got out of the parking lot, the shooter was right beside the playground. There were 50 kids on the playground. They could have opened up with that automatic weapon and killed 50 kids and not even had to break in a door. But apparently they didn't see the kids. Later that day, some of those kindergartners went home to their parents and said, Mommy, Daddy, there was a golden dome over the playground today, and we saw angels. God hid them from view with a golden dome that the shooter couldn't see through.
If you believe in God's holy angels, tap follow or subscribe.
Bro, I love this story. It is definitely a feel-good story. I'm not sure if there is legitimacy behind what these kids saw, but it sounds like there were kids that the shooter missed. And you know, when you think mass shootings, especially in the United States of America, you go, hey, these shooters are looking for as many bodies as they can add to their cards, if you will, their scorecards. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way for everybody. But this in this scenario, it is great to know that these kids were blanketed and something protected them. So yeah, that's just it's a nice feel-good story. I love it.
King Charles says they're going to have a global mobilization to, quote, save the earth from the people. The humans are the problems, the headline. No, the globalists want power and control, and they've got all this science now, and they don't need people anymore, and they've got life extension, and they want to cull most of us off the planet. And you can say academically, well, there are probably too many of us. You're going to get killed, you dumb bastard. And let's say you agree with all these globalists and Jane Goodall and Ted Turner. They want to kill us down to 500 million. Think they're really going to stop there? That's a little ruling class thinks there's going to be 500 million people. Every real analysis of this shows gigantic nuclear wars and hell on earth, and it'll destroy the globalist right along with all the rest of us. But they're so satanic and so driven. They're doing it. They're going ahead with the doomsday plan. Do you understand? We're covering the most important information in the world. And the media makes a joke about it, so we all just subconsciously think, well, that's Alex. You know, he's yelling and screaming up there. If I'm right, which I am, they admit it, then shouldn't you be freaked out?
You know, I've heard about the doomsday clock recently, and I am freaked out. It is scary. I think it's now set at 4 minutes or something, or was it 7 minutes? Regardless, they keep changing it, depending on how quickly, you know, the last few minutes are going to be of our life. And when that clock hits midnight, we're not supposed to be here. But supposedly, you know, there's billionaires that are prepping and making bunkers so they can survive this. So King Charles is indicating humans is the problem. Man, come on now. We're the solution also, right? You're trying to get rid of us. Need a human to get rid of us. Someone came up with that. Regardless, I like Alex Jones. You know, he's a quite interesting character, and of some of the statements he says, there's been situations where he said some crazy things, and I'm like, hey buddy, this event really happened. But regardless, that is now I guess handled. We'll see what else comes from things he lets us know before anyone else. That's his thing. He lets us know before anyone else, Steady. Alex Jones said it first. The frogs were turning... the frogs were turning one way from the water, and he was the first to figure that out. And now I'm scared to drink tap water everywhere. So, you know, you guys see me drink bottled water. There is a reason. And that was 3 different bottles. That was the thing. I'm going through these bottles like crazy. And now I got plastic left over. Now I got to put these plastics in recycling. Oh boy, I created a problem myself. Damn it, humans. King Charles has a point. No, I'm just kidding. Oh boy, here we go. They're gonna be, Teddy's all for genocide now.
Named Hobson explains the disturbing thing that happened to him after speaking out and having a song go viral.
The song was so big, and they told me I had to like kind of sacrifice something. They said you're gonna have to pay it back because he just put this information out there. This is gonna put people in the wrong mindset of what we're trying to do in society. But
Wow.
They told me that if I don't do these list of things, then they're going to hurt my family or hurt, people that I really care about. And they told me to go to this office. It was on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. And then when I went in, I asked them over the phone, what are they going to have to do? They said they couldn't tell me. And then when I went into the office, they sat me down and it was like an all white room. And they opened one of the doors and they had a Gucci suit, a Gucci bodysuit. And I said, oh no, please don't tell me that is what I think it is. They said, yeah, it's exactly what you think it is, pal. And I said, no, please, no, not the Gucci suit. They said it's the Gucci suit. This is the only way that you can repay.
I feel like, it was one of those humiliation rituals that they say the Illuminati makes artists go through before they get the ability to join the Illuminati. Maybe that's what Hobson, and I was a big fan of Hobson back in my 2012 era, I guess. Now, what was it? Ill Mind of Hobson 5? I forget the last one I listened to, but it was crazy. I liked his music. And for him to say that, I know he's a no record labels type guy and always been or trying to stay independent and build his own things. I'm gonna have to believe him. I feel like he is potentially exposing, hey, they told me to sacrifice and I had to go into this weird white room and wear these robes potentially in order to participate, but it sounds like he got out of that and he found his own. And by the way, I forgot to do the vibe check a little earlier. Are you a goon? Did you interact with the video? Next time I see you, are you gonna smoke the like before the video even starts? That's how I know. Right now, we got like 2,000 goons, and what's going on with you? Oh, you just lurker? I have a feeling that's gonna change. I'm one of those guys where can't just sit there quiet, monotonous, monotone voice. I got some energy, I got some passion. You having some fun with me, buddy. That's the difference here. We're gonna keep it going, but hopefully next time we see each other, you're a goon. All right, let's keep it going.
3 million people currently under a dense fog advisory or a fog alert of some sort, and it goes all the way down from Louisiana to the Canadian border. Look at that striping going on right here. Now it's up to 70.2 million. How about that? It's actually climbed up. It was 100 million yesterday.
And now this is scary to consider because I've been watching all those holographic projectors that need smoke or even fog, if you will, to use as a screen. And if they're truly trying to push a narrative, oh my God, Emily, why are you trying to wake me up like this? Stop this. I'm turning crazy. We're gooning out together. We're going to turn crazy together. But yes, if there are true patents out there for this artificial fog and they're trying to push a narrative and have like a one world threat, this would be the perfect cover. This would be the perfect testing to do it in, dude. Look at how many states they hit with this fog. Dude, they got an entire band. They got the entire Bible Belt, if you will. That is crazy. This is literally eye-opening, and we have to see where this is going to go and how much more fog instances we're going to have across the state. And I will tell you, it's been quite foggy even in the area where I am, and I'm like, dude, it's quite foggy and it's winter around here. What the heck? Where's all this fog coming from? Nature? Damn it. I don't go outside enough. That's the thing. It's probably completely normal, and I'm just like, I don't go outside. I don't know. There's always fog now. All right, let's keep it going.
There's a Harvard student that about maybe 5 years ago developed this device that just sits on the bone right here on the back of the ear. That device is connected to Wi-Fi to the internet. He doesn't have to speak. He thinks and the bone picks up his thoughts and it sends it to Google. He can ask, when you ask him a question, he then asks the question to Google through this piece. Never moves. Google then transmits the answer and then vibrates it through the bone behind the ear. He hears it in his head, and he can regurgitate the answer to you.
Bro, I don't even understand how that works. Do you have to move your muscles in your jaw in order to figure out the signal that you want to ask Google? Like, that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. How are they figuring that out? You know, how does Google know? This feels like, hey, trust me, bro, science, bro. There's probably an actual guy that's like, oh, this listening in and typing it out. I don't know. I don't know about this one. Is there proof? Am I naive here? Here I go again. Goons, I need this research done. Is this a real thing? Are people really getting the ability to, I guess not really telepathically, but via bone conduction or Wi-Fi through this bone conduction send signals to a Google and get a response back? That just feels wild. I don't know if I truly believe. I need to see more proof. The patents probably exist. I want to see it working.
There, who know what is really going on. To all my conspiracy theorist friends, sometimes it's a curse and not a blessing to be awake. In my over 45 years of behind-the-scenes invisible intelligence work, I feel compelled to share the following for your consideration. Awakening is the most liberating, alienating, excruciating, empowering, lonely, confusing, freeing, frightening, expansive journey. And if you find yourself struggling trying to process all this insanity, believe me when I say you are not alone. No one talks about the darkness that accompanies awakening or the grief we go through, not only grieving the life and illusions that you once had, but the realization that almost everything you thought you knew is a lie. The beliefs you've held, people you've trusted, principles you were taught, all lies. Shattering illusions is never an enjoyable experience. There is a considerable amount of discomfort that comes with growth, and the grieving process doesn't stop there. With these newfound realizations, you will find yourself grieving all over again. Grieving the loss of many relationships with people who just don't get it. Feeling alone, being ridiculed and shamed, not only by the masses, but for many of you, your very own family and friends too. Feeling like you no longer...
Bro, I know all about feeling, I don't know, alone, I guess, especially when it first came to adopting crypto in my family. And I'm like, I'm going into crypto. And people were like, really? Look at all, and they were negative, man. I got hit with so much BS, and then like Dogecoin took off, and then ended up buying a house, and people were like, all right, you know, everything we said, we take back, and this is me now. Regardless, yeah, there is an awakening that is happening, and he's talking about the grieving process as well. And when we awaken, we're gonna grieve again because we're gonna realize, you know, the truths and stuff. So quite sad that it is so negative, but I do believe there is an awakening happening. Us goons, we are awake. You watching this makes you an awake goon, whether you want to admit it or not. You can be all skeptical all you want, but you watching Teddy, you awake, buddy. Wake up. Wake up. I don't know if that's how a knock sounds, but that's how it sounds to me. All right, let's keep it going.
If we're living in a simulated universe, Riz, why do we feel pain? Why do we have emotion?
Well, some people will say that if they were to design the universe as a simulation, they wouldn't have any of those things. The problem is, if you remember in the second and third Matrix movie, they revealed that the first version of the Matrix was one where everything was peaceful and blissful.
Right.
And the human mind didn't accept that as a full reality. And so it turns out we may need some element of struggle, just like in an Indiana Jones movie, right? If Indy Jones just got the map at the beginning and it said, here's the Ark of the Covenant, go get it. Well, that doesn't make for a very interesting movie. And so when we design video games, We have to create levels and achievements and quests of increasing difficulty. And so, the pain and the disappointments and the suffering that are there are built into the game, I believe, as obstacles or challenges for us to overcome as we level up.
I love that. I never actually knew that was the takeaway from the Matrix 1, where they were, I guess, blissful, and people needed some type of pain or struggle element to really feel like, hey, this Matrix is real. So when he says, hey, are we in a simulation? Why do we feel pain? Boy, oh boy. If we are in a simulation, I want to win. We're all going to win this game together. The goons are going to goon up. We're going to find a way. Once we wake up, I'm probably on floor 420. Make sure you guys all find me. We'll wake each other up, take the helmets off, and maybe we go again. Why not? It's reincarnation, but it's entering the game again, all right? We're going to keep going through the simulation. Hey, we made it for a reason. Let's enjoy it here. Oh, Teddy, that's not woke. You got to break the game, Teddy. Oh, come on now. What are you going to do with the simulation, buddy? Let's enjoy it with me. All right? You're having fun right now, aren't you? Yes, we're winning the game.
You're just some empty vessel, and we pour the science into you, and then you regurgitate it on an exam. Because Earth, we know it spins once a day, yes?
Off to a great start.
So you spin, when you spin pizza dough, it kind of flattens out. It gets wider in the middle. And so Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning. And it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the pole. Not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
Yeah. Chubby's a good word. It's like pear-shaped.
Yeah.
So it turns out the pear-shapedness is bigger than the height of Mount Everest above sea level. Well, let me just so you understand. We've been fed a lie. Earth has been misrepresented to us by science. Pear-shaped. Pear-shaped.
Science! So they're all trying to figure out, is the universe spinning around us, or are we spinning around the universe? They tell you, we don't know shit. We're looking at a bunch of lights in the goddamn sky. You're gonna tell me that light and that light, that's 250, 100 trillion light years away? How the
You know what's crazy? The stars depicted like that, unless I actually do look up. Oh, Teddy, you looked up? I thought you don't go outside. I did look up, and let me tell you, those stars do look like lights, but they all glimmer, and it's a weird effect. Like, the way it was portrayed, I can agree with. So now Neil tells us, hey, it's not round, it's a pear. I go, let's take it a step further, Neil. The way you told it to me, it makes it seem like there's a firmament, and really you're describing an encapsulated Earth that potentially is flattened, similar to your pizza dough. I don't know if there was some AI put into this, but I love the video. I definitely can go with the element of, hey, it's not a complete globe. I'm not sure what the actual shape is because they keep hiding the truth from us. We're all gonna goon up together and we're gonna find out. We're gonna send our own telescope, Teddy. It's gonna call the Gooning Project, and the goons are gonna come together. Teddy, you're an engineer, right? So you got this, Teddy. We're gonna build it. You're gonna approve the schematics. Whoa. Let's just go on to the next video. We can put this off another day. Whew. Goons, man.
The British Defense Ministry has officially come out and said that the path to war is here and that full-scale global war is going to happen in the next year. And they predict full war with Russia as early as next month. And then they push it out to February of next year, a year from now, 13 months. I have it all right here. I read all the reports. But it gets worse. Leaked German military document details countdown to World War III, and Germany's official defense policy is that they will be at full war, including nuclear, with the Russians imminently. You might want to go read the Jamie White article. It's on Infowars.com. You might want to share it.
I'm ready. We've been ready. Let all the wars happen. Let's just bring it all. I also want to figure out if there's aliens involved as well. So are they going to let us continue the war? Are they going to stop us? Where are we going to go? So just bring it all on. Let this happen. It's a simulation anyway. We're going to restart, right? That's how it works in the games I play. Come on, man. RuneScape told me a lot. You die, you respawn. In Lumbridge, that's where we come back all the time. Lumbee Castle. Oh man, unless you're a gamer, you're not gonna understand that. But yeah, I come from RuneScape as well. Had a channel before the crypto, and now I'm with this channel, 3 channels deep. The real goons know. But yes, regardless, quite crazy. I'm ready. Just bring it on. Alex Jones says he's got the proof. Now it's next February, regardless of when it is. We do know the future is supposed to awaken us all. So awaken us.
Listen carefully to this.
Illuminati knows the answers, taking bone samples to clone rappers. But the artists in prison to silence their vision, genetic copies going home after. They look different, eyes shifted, smile missing, skin lifted. It's scientific. If they can't control you, they erase the old. You get your duplication to enforce their message. They clone Gucci, clone Kodak, clone Eminem. He ain't rap since Encore, know that. Cloning rappers when they overdose to keep making money from producing more tracks. The game is a sham, turning the artists who challenge to sacrificial lambs. The labels and devils are shaking hands, creating our artists in lab.
Human cloning has been around since the early 1960s. If you don't know, man is Bill Clinton. He's a former US president. This is what he had to say about human cloning. Listen carefully to this.
That attempting to use known cloning techniques to actually create a human being is untested, unsafe, and morally unacceptable. 2 days ago, the Senate voted to take the time necessary to carefully craft a bill that will ban the cloning of human beings while preserving our ability to use cloning technology for morally acceptable and medically important purposes.
That is crazy. That is legit crazy. So Bill Clinton goes, hey, we're going to restrict technology, especially cloning technology. And even this, I guess this is a Canadian rapper. He reminds me of like, what's his that guy? He just did the Ben Shapiro thing. Tom McDonald. That's who he reminds me of. But regardless, a lot of woke things said about cloning and clone technology. And yeah, Eminem, I didn't know was cloned. But, you know, I recently told Ben about Gucci Mane we knew. Kanye, they were saying, was cloned as well. So, you know, his height changed when he was dating Kim versus this new girl now. Regardless, yeah, a lot of woke things to consider. My daughter came into the room. If you hear her, I apologize. But we got a few more videos to get through, so let's do it.
They are interdimensionally sucking the essence of our youth.
Right.
And they believe they're possessed by an off-world entity.
They do?
Yeah, and then, Joe, I've been on air 22 years. I don't get into aliens, metaphysical, religion, any of that. I've studied the elite. And I've also communicated with a lot of the top people. And if you want to know, I will actually break down right now the best knowledge right now what's happening on the planet.
What's happening?
Let me give you a basic gestalt.
Okay. I love when you can use that word with full confidence. I've never said that. Let me give you a basic gestalt. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm such a fraud.
No, you're not.
No, but that's what I'd think if I use that word.
No, you'll get all this because you'll already have most of the static because you're a bookworm, a research worm. In a good way. The elite are all about transcendence and living forever and the secrets of the universe, and they want to know all this. Some are good, some are bad, some are a mix. But the good ones don't ever want to organize. The bad ones tend to want to organize because they lust after power. Powerful consciousnesses don't want to dominate other people. They want to empower them, so they don't tend to get together until things are really late in the game. Then they come together. Evil's always defeated because good is so much stronger. And we're on this planet, and Einstein's physics showed it, Max Planck's physics showed it all. There's at least 12 dimensions. And now that's why all the top scientists and billionaires are coming out saying it's a false hologram. It is artificial. The computers are scanning it and finding tension points where it's artificially projected and gravity's bleeding in to this universe. That's what they call dark matter. So we're like a thought or a dream that's a wisp in some computer program, some God's mind, whatever. They're proving it all. It's all coming out. Now, there's like this sub-transmission zone below the third dimension. that's just turned over to the most horrible things is what it resonates to. And it's trying to get up into the third dimension that's just a basic level consciousness to launch into the next levels. And our species is already way up at the fifth, sixth dimension, consciously, our best people. But there's this big war trying to like basically destroy humanity because humanity has free will and there's a decision to which level we want to go to. We have free will, so evil's allowed to come and contend, not just good. And the elites themselves believe they're racing using human technology to try to take our best minds and build some type of breakaway civilization where they're going to merge with machines, transcend, and break away from the failed species that is man, which is kind of like a false transmission because they're thinking what they are is ugly and bad, projecting it onto themselves instead of believing, no, it's a human test about building us up. And so Google was set up 18, 19 years ago. I knew about this before it was declassified. I'm just saying I have good sources, that they wanted to build a giant artificial system. And Google believes that the first artificial intelligence will be a supercomputer based on the neuron activities of the hive mind of humanity with billions of people wired into it with the Internet of Things. And so all of our thoughts go into it, and we're actually building a computer that has real neurons in real time that's also psychically connected to us, that are organic creatures, so that they will have current prediction powers, future prediction powers, a true crystal ball. But the big secret is, once you have a crystal ball and know the future beforehand and make decisions that control the future. And so then it's the end of consciousness and free will for individuals, as we know, and a true 2.0 in a very bad way, hive mind consciousness with an AI jacked into everyone, knowing our hopes and dreams, delivering it to us, not in some PKD wirehead system where we plug in and give up on consciousness because of unlimited pleasure, but because we were already wired in and absorbed before we knew it by giving over our consciousness to the system by our daily decisions, that it was able to manipulate and control into a larger system. There's now a human counterstrike taking place to shut this off before it gets fully into place, and to block these systems, and to try to have an actual debate about where humanity goes, and cut off the pedophiles and psychic vampires that are control of this AI system before humanity's destroyed.
Wait a minute,
humanity
the
is only
controlled of AI? How'd the pedophiles get in control of AI?
The pedophiles at a whatever level, the devil, whatever you want to call it, this interdimensional thing that gives them advanced off-world technology, the fallen one that's not of this world, is giving them advanced knowledge on how to construct these systems that have already been used before on other populations.
What?
That's Satan?
But what are you talking about?
That's Satan.
But explain that. You're saying
Satan
something
becomes
insane.
something that the stupid preacher tells you about, who's totally controlled, or something you read about on in the news or TV.
Right.
This is an interdimensional force that wants to influence us to build something that absorbs us and kills us, rather than the divine free will we're given to build something much better that empowers the species. So the species is now making a decision about its entire future.
Where are you getting this from?
That's what it is.
But where are you getting it from?
I know, from looking at all the data, researching it, studying it, watching the...
I want to know where he's getting it from also, Joe. I feel like it's downloaded into him. He's pieced everything together. He's seen it all, because he's the most woke of all of us. As I said, true Alex Jones fan myself. Not on all points, but this is a very interesting point. It started off on, hey, the elite, there are good elite and bad elite trying to control us humans, and then it jumped from that to AI to things related to abuse of children here, and then back to AI. Where did he get all this from? And he gets into this rant, and I love it. It reminds me of energy that I have as well, where I just get into this ADHD thing, and it's like one thing leads to another, and people can be like, Teddy, I couldn't even follow you. Like, you said one thing and now we're here. Like, how did we even land here? I'm like, I don't know. My ADHD said, let's talk about this, and now we landed here. So what do we do now? It's like, I didn't want to know this about I don't even know how we started this topic. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's the ADHD. And I feel like Alex Jones, ADHD real strong. Quite interesting things to consider here. I know it's all over the place. I know it's a lot of information to take in, especially the 6th dimension, 7th dimension, 12th dimension stuff, and talking about whether there is other malicious intent happening from these elites to control us and take away that freedom, if you will. But their end goal, he said, is they want to have our human minds be used so that way they can help them build some like biological android hybrid type human to hopefully beat the test, if you will. But then he goes, the actual test is the evolution of humans, or the acknowledgement of human growth or something, so of the species. Regardless, it was quite an interesting video. I yet again thank my wife who was in the room as I'm recording. And yeah, there was a lot to unpack on this one, guys. I don't even know. I feel woke, but I also feel depressed. It's like, come on now. Everything I knew I thought was good, and now it's not good. The simulation's supposed to be good. We're gonna beat the simulation, dude. Stick with me. I will see you on the next video. Stay safe, stay strong, and goodbye.